Makes a person truly great? Many people believe it is talent, luck, or resources, but history shows something different. The greatest people in the world, whether it's Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, or Jeff, all share one thing in common: their way of thinking. Napoleon Hill once wrote, "Whatever you think about, you become." If that is real, then why do so many people fail even though they dream of success? Do they not think big enough, or do they miss something important? Today's story reveals a simple but powerful truth hidden in plain sight. And by the end of this story, you'll understand a lesson that can quietly change your life. In a crowded railway station, filled with rushing passengers, loud whistles, and the constant rumble of trains, lived a beggar. Every day he sat in the same corner, surviving only by asking strangers for help. Coins were his lifeline, and begging was his routine. One morning, while doing what he always did, he noticed a man walking onto the platform, a businessman with polished shoes, a sharp suit, and confidence in his walk. The beggar's eyes lit up. This man looked wealthy. Surely he would be generous. With hope in his heart, the beggar approached him and stretched out his hand. But the businessman didn't hand him any money. Instead, he looked directly at the beggar and asked, "Do you always ask others for things? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar froze. No one had ever asked him this. He stammered, "Sir, I'm a beggar. I survive on what people give me. I don't have anything to offer." The businessman gently shook his head. "If you believe you have nothing to give, then you shouldn't expect anything in return. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. If you offer something, I'll offer something back. But if you offer nothing, I can give you nothing." And with that, he stepped onto the train and disappeared. The beggar stood there speechless. He kept repeating the words in his mind. No anger, no insult, just pure truth. Why should people give me anything if I don't give anything? It was a thought he had never considered. That night he lay awake thinking, "But what do I have? What can a beggar possibly give?" Over and over, one line kept echoing inside him: "If you want to receive, you must first give." 2 days passed. He didn't beg, he didn't speak, he just thought. On the third day, while sitting near the tracks, he noticed something simple yet beautiful: small wildflowers blooming near the station wall. They stood out, bright and alive. And then, like a spark in the dark, an idea formed. What if I give these flowers to people in return for their help? He picked a few flowers carefully, held them gently, and returned to his spot. When the first person dropped a coin into his hand, he smiled and offered them a flower. The person accepted it with surprise and walked away smiling. Soon others reacted the same way. People loved receiving something, even something small. And slowly he noticed a pattern. When he had flowers, people gave more. When flowers ran out, the money decreased. He realized something essential: people value exchange. One afternoon, while offering flowers, he saw a familiar face seated in a train window. It was the businessman. The beggar, now more confident, approached him and said, "Sir, today I have something to offer. If you give me something, I will give you flowers in return." The businessman smiled, handed him some money, and accepted the flowers. Then he said, "Today you are not begging, you are doing business. You have understood the real meaning of exchange." His words stayed with the beggar long after the train left. Am I really a businessman? Could this be true? And suddenly it clicked. He wasn't asking for pity anymore. He was trading value. People weren't donating, they were buying. He wasn't a beggar anymore, he was a trader. That day he made a decision he had never imagined. He left the railway station and promised never to return as a beggar again. 6 months later, in the same railway station, 2 well-dressed men crossed paths. One of them stared at the other in confusion and asked, "Have we met?" The other man smiled, "Yes, twice, right here." The businessman looked closely, and then recognition hit him. You were the beggar I once refused to give money to, and later you sold me flowers." The former beggar laughed warmly. "Yes, that was me, but now I run a growing flower business. I'm traveling to extend it further." The businessman, amazed, "How did this transformation happen?" The flower seller replied, "That day you taught me a truth I never understood before. We only receive when we give. I realized I was not born to beg. I only needed to see myself differently." The 2 men shook hands, no longer as a giver and a taker, but as equals. Life is shaped by what we believe about ourselves. If you think you are powerless, you will stay powerless. But if you recognize your worth, your abilities, your hidden potential, then the world opens up in unexpected ways. Change your thoughts, and your future changes with them.